have a 2016 Lexus 200 Turbo that I'm preparing to install a power liftgate manufactured by Hanshow Corporation. And today I'm going to take a video on how to install this kit into this vehicle. Stand by. Here in this area, once you get to this, you just push these little tabs, push those tabs, when you push it down, it releases it, and you'll be able to remove this cover. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of this plastic locks that holds this in place, and you have to remove all 4 to be able to release. And as you can see, I can just pick it up and take it out. This right here needs to come off, so you pull the rubber out. One thing that has to be done, this needs to come off, and the way to take it off is this. There's a tab right here, you can feel it, it's soft, and on the other side it's harder. So this soft tab right here, you turn it upward. As long as that soft tab that you pressed is on the top, you'll be able to pull it out. See right here. Because this other side is fixed. This one side is soft and it folds. So it has to line up with that hole. If you turn it upside down, it will never come out. So remember, this soft tab is positioned to the top to be able to remove this. Here's another tab that needs to be removed. In the process of removing this side pillar cover, there's a, if you look closely, right here, there is a slit right there on the top, and what you can do is pull. See that? It pulls and it comes out. Okay, so do that on both sides and be able to remove the cover. Now, in preparation for the wire, what we need to do is put this wire together so that we can insert it. But then, because it's so thick because of this plug, we'll have to tape it in a way that it's all lined up like so. So it will not be hard to go through the panels. So we could tape it like so. Just line him up, because if you put him together like a bundle, then it'll be so big never be able to get it inside. So we do it this way to make it thin so we could insert it inside. And along with that, if you have a foot sensor, you can add the foot sensor because the foot sensor comes with several wires. Okay, mainly those four, I believe there is 4 wires. Okay, and then the 4 wires that connects to the foot sensor, you have the red for the battery, you have the black for the ground, and the white is marked ACC, and the green is marked in Chinese character, but it's a trigger wire that will connect to the rear handle. It will be activated when the sensor sends a motion under the bumper. So since we need this to connect to the handle, we have to include this here, if you have the foot sensor. So we have to connect it here. So that it will be included once we run the wires through the door. Something to pull it, and I'm using this. Remove the tape. So that it'll give you room. There you go. And what you do is you run this through in here. And so now what you do is you spray this. With the WD-40, so it's easier to go through there. So now that we got that through there, we'll have to run it again. From here.
Then you secure the rubber grommet down back in place, like so. Then run this cable down where it was supposed to be.
But I went ahead and proceed with removing the struts from the back of the door and replacing the bracket. This is the bracket that came off. This is for the right side, and it's marked, so you won't get lost. It's marked. See, it says letter R. So this will replace this bracket on the right side. As I was stating earlier, I was gonna put grease inside here, so keep it properly lubricated, smooth moving. But then I noticed it already has white grease inside. So now I'll go ahead and install this. The wiring should go where this plug is, right here. Like so. This side. So now I'll proceed with putting it in. That's a heavy door. Oops. Don't want to put that on the glass, it may crack. Don't ever put anything up against the glass. There you go. So now it's supported. So now what we do is run the wires on both struts going inside. So we've got most of our wire already run through, and the rest would be just connecting it. So now that I have fixed the unit on the liftgate lid, like so, got one bolt holding it, and I'm going to put a bracket on the other side to make sure it's not going to move. I don't feel like fixing it on the inside with a tape because the heat of the sun could cause the tape to melt and it'll fall off. And then I fixed the wiring like so. You can see the tie wrap's tail still hanging, just to secure the wirings in place so that it's nice and clean. And then I'm going to cut those tails off so that it will leave a nice clean finish. So that's how I fix my wiring. And it started from down below, it came in here, I routed it down below here, it's hanging, and this wire will go up front to the fuse box. This is the number 2 plug on the computer brain, and the I believe the number 1, as you can see up here, the number 1 is to power cable, and number 2 is for the front switch, which is connected here on this wire right here, that will run to the front, along with the green wire, which will go to the lock trigger wire, which is the back wire underneath the kick panel. I'll show you that later. And this wire right here will connect, this wire right here with the big plug is connected to soft close mechanism. This is going to the soft close mechanism, and I'll show you how that goes in a few. But I just wanted to show you that this wiring on the top, once I cut off the pigtails of those tie wraps, is going to look nice and clean. Okay, so now that I cut off the pigtails and secure the wires along with the existing wires that was installed originally by the factory, the green wire right here, this is for your release handle in the back, the liftgate handle in the back of the door. I disconnected it, and I will tap this green wire on, let's see, this one right here. This wire right here, if you look at closely, the plug, it'll be this one on the left side. That's where the green wire goes, and that's a trigger for the foot sensor. And this red wire here, that came with the cable that's plugged into number 1. Red wire is the illumination wire for the front liftgate switch that's on the driver's side. I will attach this to the license plate light.
so that at night, as soon as the light kicks in or turn on, there will be illumination on that switch. Okay, so now I got the green trigger wire for the foot sensor connected to the lift gate door switch. Okay, I'm going to tape it up to secure it. Okay, so I got it taped up right here, inserted it, and I'm going to plug it back in. See if I can find it. Up there you go. That's where it goes. That is your trigger for the foot sensor. Okay, so the illumination wire that goes to the front switch, the wire is right here, this red one, and I have connected it to my license plate light, so that when the light comes on at night, the white one is the positive, the white and black is your negative. So I connected it to the positive wire, and so that when the light comes on, it will be illuminated. I just plug it back in. To the license plate light. There you go.
I will go ahead and install the soft close. So you have to remove this, remove the original latch, our ACC goes right here. This is our lighter, and gotta find the hot wire for this, and that's where we connect the white wire ACC for the foot sensor. So as you can see, I tapped the white wire from the foot sensor into our lighter plug, and the positive wire from the foot sensor I tapped into the main battery cable that's going to the front. On the NX300, the battery is in the trunk, so no need to do this. But since our power source is coming on the fuse box right up front, I had to do this. Okay, so foot sensor positive, tap into the main power cable, which is number 1 in the control unit, and then the white wire from the foot sensor to the ACC to our lighter, and the black I tapped into one of the bolt for the ground. And the green wire, as I showed you earlier, is tapped into our switch, which is the unit right there. Okay, that's the green wire. So a recap on our wire installation. From here, it came down, it started from here, the wire that goes to battery power, and it goes to number 1 in our control unit, and also number 2, and also the soft close, which is, let me see if I can read it. Suction wire 8 and 9. So you tie up both the wire that goes to number 1 and number 2, the 8 and 9 wire, plus the green wire from your foot sensor. You put them all together and run it through here, and it goes, you open up this panel and it goes into this junction right here, the rubber boot, and out it goes here. Right there, you see, you can see there's the cable for number 1 and number 2, and also the suction lock wire, and then the foot sensor wire, the green, and it came out here, came out here, and here, and I see I tied up all the wire together, and it goes right there. Okay, and then your wire from your strut, it goes in here, and it meets right here in your control unit. Same on the left side. It come out here, you fish it all the way up, and it comes out here, and it goes into your control unit. Now you have this bypass cable. You disconnect this black one from the locking switch right there, and then you plug in the one that came with the kit into your door lock, and then the other end plug in into this existing plug which came off of the door lock. It's a bypass. Okay, it's integrated into that circuit, and that's it. And then the red wire that came with number 1 cable, you know, a lot of people will probably wonder, which I did at first because it has the Chinese character, there's no English instruction, and this is your illumination wire going to your front switch. Okay, and let's see what else. Illumination wire, the green wire going to the switch, and that's it. I'm pretty much done in the back here. It's all tied up, it's tidied up. You can look at it, and I integrated it with the existing wiring so it doesn't look really messy like a jungle look. So well, that's what it looked like at the beginning anyway. And then I installed my control unit on the existing hole on this side with screw and nut, and on this side I use a bracket so it's strong. I didn't want to use the tape that came with the kit to attach anywhere because my concern is that the heat of the sun, if it's exposed outside, it may melt down the tape and the control unit may fall off and rattle in the back liftgate door. So that's why I secure it that way. Okay, so we'll proceed with the finishing of the wire going to the front, and then also the foot sensor on the bottom, and the soft close unit in the corner. I'm gonna find a way to secure this so it doesn't rattle. Might have to fabricate a bracket and mount it so that it doesn't bounce all over the place and make a noise when I'm driving. But other than that, the harness for the soft close is this harness right here that we installed earlier, and it plugs in right here. Like that. So we'll try to tidy this up later on so it looks professional. I don't like it messy, but I'll show you once I finish up before I close up this side. All right. We pull out this screw from the front here, and then it comes off right here. Set that aside, and then we can run our wire all the way here. Should be able to run it through. Yeah. Okay, it's hooked up to the very last connection of the fuse right there. That's an open fuse. There's nothing in it, so you can plug it in there, and it has a live 12 volt, and that's where it's gonna get its power. Okay, and then the end of the cable plugs into this, which I don't want to plug it in yet until everything is set, and the green wire, which is our lock trigger right here, it goes right there. See this black plug right here? You find it on the bottom for this model. It's almost to the bottom. There's a black plug, and it's this wire right here. You can test it when you use your meter. You can check and see if when you unlock and lock, you'll get a small signal, and that's the wire for this green trigger. And unfortunately, it was written on Chinese character, and so it's hard to understand, but this is your unlock trigger line that goes into this black wire. Okay, so I'm gonna hook it up and see. Final touch, I installed my foot sensor right here, and run the wire across, and finish up the wiring in the front. Okay, now I closed up all the panels, secure, reinstalled the threshold, and on the dash, instead of using the switch, I went and got a Toyota Sequoia switch. Fits perfectly in that hole, and I transferred the wire from the switch that came with the kit. Panels are back in place, just like nothing happened. Okay, well, we're testing the remote control. That's open. Now it's closing. Okay, this time I'm going to try the foot sensor. Okay, worked great. And I'm closing it with the tailgate switch. Nice and quiet. There we go. Everything works. Thank you.